What's up, everybody? It's J and J with Justin and Jordan. Man, Justin, this is the last episode of the 24-25 season. I can't believe we're going to Game 7. I really can't believe it. They let me down. OKC's letting me down, man. I said 5. I said 6. I never said sweep, though. I don't think I ever said sweep. I think I always said 5. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to fact check myself. But all the way to 7, bro. The team that was 29-1 versus the East all year has already lost more games to the East in the playoffs. Mind you, as a Western Conference team than they did in the regular season.
Yeah.
And the Cavs were the only team to beat them that one time. This is insane. Some teams came close. I mean, the Celtics came close. We came close the first time in January, but we don't got to talk about that. But what else is going on, bro, besides the obvious Game 7 and recapping Games 5 and 6?
We got the big time Desmond Bane trade that happened last Sunday.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to be fucked up. Desmond Bane is a great player, but it was funny you said big time.
Yeah.
KD is big time. But this is a big deal.
Nah, because that shit happened out of nowhere, and I was like, what?
No rumbling, something, yeah.
The Buss family selling majority ownership of the Lakers to Mark Walter for $10 billion. Like you said, the finals. Bron saying that rings is a team accomplishment and not so heavily on an individual player. And the Rockets not willing to throw in more for Kevin Durant. And we got our mock draft for the upcoming draft on Wednesday. So
shout out to you and Vic too, by the way. We're only doing lottery, but if you guys definitely do want to see more in depth, we know who the experts are. I know my role, you know. Big shout out to Justin because he's definitely Mr. College out here. And big shout out to Vic for even being willing to help out. I want to do wait, let me take that back. I want to talk about LeBron first. I almost said some shit that was crazy. I want to definitely talk about LeBron first, right? Because I think a lot of people are, as always, misinterpreting what LeBron says. Same can be said about the triangle offense comment, which I'll cover in a little bit. But LeBron never said rings don't matter. And it's just so funny how quickly his words get misconstrued off rip. LeBron, it's like that viral Twitter post, right? That people still use now in response to people just saying shit that has no correlation when they're like, I like pancakes. And the response is like, so you hate waffles? That's 2 different sentences. Bron did not say rings don't matter. All he was trying to say, which is very true, which is an opinion I hold. I'm not going to talk for Justin. I don't know his opinion on it. It's an opinion I hold. Rings are a team accomplishment. Of course, spearheaded by the best player. Absolutely, because there's no sport, not even quarterbacks, can carry you to a championship like one franchise player could in the NBA. And the MLB, absolutely not. You got to wait your turn. Motherfucker, Barry Bonds had the best World Series of all time in 2002. Didn't even win and never won a championship in his career. Even making the playoffs, you cannot do as a one-man show. Same thing with soccer, bro. You could be the best player in the world. If you got some trash around you, you're not going anywhere. And the league, or the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the World Cup itself, nothing. So I understand where people are coming from. Like, oh, in basketball, like when you are that star, you have the ability to change a franchise. And it's true. But at the end of the day, it's still a team accomplishment. There's a reason Mike ain't win a single series until Scottie Pippen got to the team. There's a reason why after Shaq left, Kobe missed the playoffs, lost back-to-back in the first round, including blowing a 3-1 lead to Phoenix, until he got Hall of Fame help in Paul Gasol. There's a reason Bron got swept by the Spurs in 2007. It's a team accomplishment. Those 3 guys, and we could keep going, which is why someone like me, this is why I hype up so much the Dirk ring, the 03 Duncan ring, Hakeem's first ring, because it's a rarity to do that, to be able to win without the greatest help. And even then, Tim Duncan still had, a decent Tony Parker averaging like 14, Hakeem still had very decent role players around him. Dirk, as we know, Jason Terry ascended, but they didn't have all-star help, right? But you need help. It is a team accomplishment. You're never going to go out there. Bron dropped 50 in game 1 of the finals and got swept. But it's not a team accomplishment, apparently. You can drop 50 in the finals and not win a game in the finals. All he's saying, which everyone to misinterpret, is you could still call guys great even if they don't have a ring. And then he went on to name AI and Steve Nash, for example, 2 MVPs. One guy went to the finals, one of the best scorers ever, one of the most influential players in the league, off the court as well. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. And I don't want to hear none of that undeserved shit just because he ain't scored 20. Because not only that, he's a winner. He went to a team as the sole addition, added 30 fucking wins. Him and CP3 is winners in their own right, even if it's not champions. There's champions and they winners. They're still winning players. Steve Nash against the Mavs, bro. Against the Mavs, averaged 30 and 12 on 55, 42, 96 shooting. He didn't score because he didn't want to. He had the ability. He has multiple series averaging 20 plus points, 22, 23. Unfortunately, he didn't win. He got hip checked by Robert Horry. And then the bench is cleared in his best chance to win a championship. After that, he was in a West where if he won 50 games, he was the 8th seed. That doesn't make him any worse. No disrespect, by the way. I feel like I kind of been name dropping him a lot recently, more as a player than a coach. But no disrespect, but I would never put Chauncey Billups over Steve Nash just because he has 1 championship and another extra finals appearance. I would never. I love Walt Frazier. He, in his own right, is close to, if not a top 10 point guard of all time. I'm not putting him over CP3. I cannot. Just because he's a champion, CP's not. 2 times, too. Billups is 1 time. Walt Frazier, 2 times. None of y'all got John Havlicek in your top 15 or top 20. I'm not even saying top 10. None of y'all have him in the top 25. Y'all all got D Wade over him, who only, quote unquote, has 3. I bet y'all all have Dirk over him with 1 ring. Hakeem is consensus top 10, and he only, quote unquote, has 2 compared to 6 less than John Havlicek. Y'all don't got Bill Russell over Michael. And then with the guys with no rings, you don't have Chauncey Billups over AI. You don't have Rip Hamilton over Carmelo Anthony. You just don't. You don't have Ben Wallace over Dwight. Dwight has a ring, but let's be real. We know the circumstance. I'm not even talking about bubble. I'm talking about that he wasn't close to even being a 3rd option. Ben Wallace was in his absolute peak. It's ridiculous, bro. And here's the kicker, Justin. Oh my God. You had Jay Williams, Gil, and T-Mac show up to First Take to talk to Stephen A, right? Okay. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw some of it, yeah.
The comments made it even funnier. They're proving LeBron's point. Because all the comments was 3 non-champions. 3 non-champions talking about, oh, championships don't matter. How ironic. I don't want to hear these motherfuckers talk. They don't have a championship. Where are they to be able to have a conversation in this shit? Proving LeBron's point. Disrespecting, T-Mac's status. I understand he couldn't get out the first round. He blew a 3-1 lead against the champions. Also, one of the best defensive teams, if not the best, because I think we both said the best defensive team of all time. And he gave him 30 every game. Unfortunately, he lost. As the 8th seed too, by the way. It's not like he was a higher seed blowing 3-1 lead. He was the 8th seed. He almost upset them. And almost counts for nothing. I get it. But still, when Gil said, oh, people forget T-Mac and Kobe was in the same convo after Shaq left Kobe. That's a true fact. And then motherfuckers gonna come, oh, but Kobe's a 3-time champion. T-Mac can't even get out the first round. Ridiculous. T-Mac can get to the finals until he got to the Spurs as an old man. Ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Then there's people who are like, oh, look who they have here. This was my favorite comment. One guy who couldn't get out the first. Another guy who ruined his career in a motorcycle crash being reckless. And another guy who has, character issues bringing a gun into a locker room. What does that have to do with the conversation itself? This is literally just proving LeBron's point. Y'all will do anything to disrespect these guys because they have no championship. People call CP3 CP0. To make it, relevant to today as we speak because of the finals. And I bitched about it 2 episodes in a row. I'm making it 3. I don't care. Y'all already want to put Halliburton over CP3 and Steve Nash because of a ring. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And all you guys are doing is proving LeBron right. And people want to say he's only doing this to boost himself as a GOAT. Or my other favorite too, he's a hypocrite. Because when he won in 2016, he said, I feel like that made me the greatest. His comment has nothing to do with his own accolades. His comment has nothing to do with the GOAT debate. All he's saying is, yo, we have to respect the guys who didn't win a championship as well, just as much as the champions, because it is a team accomplishment. All the greats more often than not needed help, bro. It's just true facts. They needed help. I'm not trying to hear that. Like yeah, and Gil was right too, by the way. And I know this is always gonna cause a problem, and I'm always gonna stand by this take, bro. And there's nothing wrong with it. The people who take offense to this, I'm sorry, they're just stands who obsess over a title. Gil was right. Number 8, Kobe Bryant was a sidekick those first 3 finals. There is nothing wrong with that. Shaq has 3 of the highest point per games in finals history of the top 20. 2 of them in the top 10. 1 of them top 3. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Every all-time great except Michael and Bron was going to get outscored that badly by Shaq when you're averaging 38 and like 16 or 18. Everybody's getting outscored by him. He's one of the best finals performers of all time. So, of course, he did get delegated to sidekick status, even if he was putting up his own 25, for example. But every finals, he got outscored by double digits. That's why no matter what, bro, my thing, because rings do matter to me too, but not like crazy. I'm never going to put, to me, because this is where I'm going to end off, before I let you talk, rings to me matter when you and a guy are in the same tier. But if you guys aren't even close, I don't give a fuck, bro. That's why, like I said, the CP3 and like Chauncey shit, or CP3 and Walt Frazier, they're not in the same tier. All 3 of them are Hall of Famers. CP3 is inner circle. Absolutely. And no one can sit here and convince me I'd rather have Chauncey Billups over CP3. You're a lunatic. Not even a lunatic. You're an idiot to believe that. It's just false. You're wrong. There's some things you could be subjective in ball and have your opinions. Objectively, CP3 is way fucking better than Chauncey Billups. Ring or no ring. That's my only thing. When we get into that top 10, yeah, we could say this guy had 4 rings as the best player. This guy only had 3, whatever. This guy only made 2 finals and won 1, so on and so forth. That's like the inner circle. That top 10, that top 15. When you're really nitpicking between the number 2 point guard and the number 3 point guard. This is why I have Isaiah over CP3, for example, right? But besides that, bro, I'm not trying to hear like, for example, like I'm trying to think of an example that will work out for like this finals. But honestly, like people already saying Shea and is better than Harden already for his career. Just if he wins the championship. I'm not doing that. He still has a whole career to finish. I'm confident he is going to finish higher than Harden all time. But right now, because of one championship at the age of what, like 26, 27, I'm not doing that, bro. He has another minimum 8, 9 years in the league, bro. He could win another MVP. He could win 2 more scoring titles. He could win another championship. Wait till it's over before you disrespect James Harden because he had no championship because the circumstances of him going against the best team of all time twice, back-to-back years. Sometimes it's circumstances. These aren't excuses. Harden faced the Warriors with Kevin Durant twice. SGA didn't have to do that. Respect to Jokic, respect to Ant-Man, but it's like, that is not the KD Warriors. And you know how much I love Jokic. That's not the KD Warriors. I value his performances against them than Shea's against those guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Shea is still potentially going to be a champion tomorrow. And you can't take that away from him. But you can't take away James Harden's greatness, for example. That's the only promo I wanted to cut for like the past 9 minutes exactly. I thought that shit was stupid. Absolutely stupid.
Nah, yeah. I think a lot of people they kind of put too much weight on the ring culture shit because it's not fair to shit on guys like Chris Paul and Steve Nash when you really dive into it. It's like these guys, and I like what you said, the term of winners and champions.
Yeah.
Like Steve Nash and Chris Paul, those guys are winners because those are the 2 guys where you put them on a team, they're going to get better. We've seen it with Chris Paul his whole career. Every team he's been on, outside of Golden State, but every team he's been on has gotten better the year he got
winning
there.
50.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
That shit was crazy.
Every team he's been on, like 2010s and post after that, Besides, as like the guy, 50 wins.
Yeah.
OKC was on pace for 50 wins.
Yeah. And like the people that shit on Steve Nash is like they kind of just exposing themselves because they just look at the point per game and shit like that. But it's like, yo, and it's crazy that he comes up in this conversation because I was fucking watching his playoff highlights the other day. People don't understand how cold Steve Nash was in the playoffs. Like, we talking about a guy who would average 15 for the season, but like in a closeout game in the conference finals, he would drop 39 with 12 assists.
I'm sorry to cut you off. He still has the Suns' single game scoring record in the playoffs with 48, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check again. I don't know if D-Book passed it in that Nuggets series in round 2 with KD. I'm going to check right now, but he dropped 48, bro. He could do it.
Yeah. So I think you guys have to like go back and watch Steve Nash because that motherfucker was cold, like super cold. And to say that just because he doesn't have a championship, he's not a winner, is unfair to him because those back-to-back MVP seasons, to me, they still move me despite what people may say about certain people deserving shit. That Suns team was a 20-win team in 04, and they were a 62-win team the year after. 06, Amari was out for most of the year and was still, the second seed that year?
Yep.
So,
yeah. Not only that, Amari played 3 games.
Yeah. So, that should tell you within itself. And leading the best offense on top of that. And then shitting on guys like Charles Barkley just because he don't have a ring. But people forget how fucking amazing Charles Barkley was. He was the MVP in the league with MJ, Hakeem.
Magic.
Like, with Magic. Like, he was second in MVP in 1990 behind Magic. So.
I'm sorry. That one was funny because he had the most first place votes.
Yeah.
That one didn't make sense.
Still to this day be like, oh, I should have won that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, they shit on Charles Barkley too because he don't have a ring. He ran into Mike. But that Western Conference was his that year and he freaking dominated. So it's tough, bro. And even like the Carmelo slander, like to a lesser degree from these guys, but a lot of people just shit on Carmelo like any chance they get, which sucks because they'd be like, oh, he only got out the first round one time. But it's like, if you look at most of those matchups, they lost to the team that was better than them. It wasn't like he was getting upset every single year. And people would just shit on him for that. So I think it's unfair in that circumstance. And like guys like Tracy McGrady, it sucks because everybody's gonna be like, oh, never got out the first round. But like it's not like he was a bum like because of that. This motherfucker was in one of the hardest eras to score, dropping 33, 32 points a game. Mm-hmm. So it's tough. But Braun was right because championships are done by committee. The best player is good enough to get you to a second round, third round, maybe even a finals if you're like LeBron good or that caliber of guy. But to finish the job, you need the whole team. And if you look at championship teams or like even teams that make the finals, you start seeing guys on the roster where it's like, wow, I've seen him throughout his career and damn, he's on this team. It's starting to make sense. Like this is a championship team. Like you see it in these finals, like Alex Caruso. Wow, I've seen him all the time. Shit, he's on this stage. He's been here before. You need guys like him. TJ McConnell, undrafted guy who's been in the league. Everybody knows him for his peskiness, and look where he's at, how hard he's playing. It's paying off because look where he's at. Yeah. He's a big factor to this team. That 2019 Raptors team, like Fred VanVleet, like all those guys, Norman Powell, the Celtics last year, Al Horford, Drew Holiday, guys like that. So you're always, in every single finals, you're going to see guys like, wow, like I've seen him all the time and now he's on this team and it's like, wow, it makes sense why this team is here because of these glue guys. And those are the most important people to a championship team because they swing everything. People were talking on Twitter like Game 7 is so dangerous because a random role player could end your season. Like guys like Shane Battier, they matter. And people don't want to hear that because a lot of people will just be like, damn, LeBron got saved by Ray Allen, Shane Battier. Like, nah, because people forget that LeBron was the one in 2013 that scored 16 points in the fourth quarter to even give Ray Allen the chance to tie the game. People don't want to talk about it. They'll just be quick to say that he got saved by his role players. But Every single championship team, you need your glue guys, and that's what it's gonna come down to. You're gonna need guys that are gonna be able to swing certain things in your favor because the star players, there's only so much they could do when they're getting schemed against the entire series, and the great ones, they're gonna perform regardless of whatever scheme they're thrown at. So it you got to do it by committee and coaching. We've seen it in this playoffs, especially. Coaching is a big thing. Um, if your coach could maximize your team and put the whole team in the right position to succeed, you have a chance. You have to be ready to play that chess match, especially in the conference finals and NBA finals, because pure talent is not gonna just get you over the top. Like you need depth, you need good coaching, and you need some luck too. You're gonna need a factor of all those things, and to just put everything solely on one player is not fair. Because that's not how it works in the league. Like those Lakers dynasties that three-peat in the early 2000s. People talk about Shaq, people talk about Kobe, but I always think about the Robert Ory's hitting the big shots, Derek Fisher being a steady point guard, Glenn Rice hitting big shots in 2000. Like a lot of shit goes into it that people don't talk about. So to just diminish somebody's career just because they don't have a championship, especially as the guy, I think it's really shitty. Because imagine the conversations. Like I would hate like Dirk to get fucking hate if he didn't get that 2011 ring. Because
That's the direction.
Some people forget how cold Dirk is just because he didn't have that 2011 ring. Even before that ring, bro, just seeing what Dirk was doing was crazy. Like beating the Spurs in the conference finals in 06 and putting up fucking 40 points. Like shit like that. He's like an all-time player even before the ring. So it's crazy. So I think it's unfair for these players.
And since you said Dirk, I mean, this is one. I'm so glad you brought up Dirk. This is one example of how much the narratives changed with Dirk in one day, in 1 week, let's say. Dirk, before that championship, which sucks, and he probably would have still had that label today because even though we respect Carmelo Anthony as a great, like the majority of people do, the haters are still gonna make he was a loser. He couldn't get out the first round, whatever, right? But people forget, only because of the championship, Dirk was seen as a choker. Dirk was seen as soft.
Soft loser. That's what they was.
He was a soft choker, and you could even add loser on top of that. And then championship happens. Nobody remembers those narratives. Unless you're really tapped into like hoops from that time and you're not in denial and you don't have like this nostalgia shit fucking with you. He was a loser. He was straight up a loser. I'm not saying that, but that's how people viewed him. A choker and a loser. And it just sucks because like, so what? So Dirk's like career would have just been like useless if he didn't win that. MVP, 50, 40, 90 seasons. 50 win seasons every year in the 2000s, which a lot of people don't even know, by the way, that he won 50 games every year in the West in that entire decade. I was even shocked by that because I thought there probably would have been 1 year he won like 48, 49. But when I did like a AD versus Dirk debate with my boy on TikTok, I had to check that shit. I was like, wait a second, I knew he made the playoffs every time, but damn, he won 50 every fucking time. And it's crazy. He was seen as a loser, bro. Even if he didn't have a championship, he would have been, to me, a winning player. An absolute winner.
Damn.
You checking it, right? It's true. I couldn't believe it. I thought there was 1 year it didn't happen. No, every year 50.
From 2000, 2001 to 2010,
11?
yeah, 10, 11, they won 50 plus.
And that's just going to get slept on just because Tim Duncan did it better.
Back-to-back 60-win seasons.
Yeah. Tim Duncan just did a little bit better, so that's going to get lost to history. But, bro, what is that? 11 straight seasons of 50 wins?
Yeah.
That's impressive. You can't take that away from anybody. No one's even close to that streak right now in the league. And he was doing that at the same time as someone carving a path of like 18 straight years of 50. Ridiculous. So it's crazy about how much the ring changed. And I'm still going to go back to this Kobe T-Mac shit. That one pissed me off the most because Gil said something that was true. And because people weren't there for that time. And I'm not going to lie, we weren't either. We just missed it. But we know because we care to check. We care to go back. And honestly, I only knew that because of my brother. And my brother's older than me. we'll be playing NBA Live 05, and he was still, in that point in time, as a Rocket would say, oh, he's just as good as Kobe type shit. But it was a real conversation. Why do we have to pretend that shit never happened just because Kobe won 2 more later on? That's not cool to me, bro. That's just not cool at all. Like, imagine debating 2 players today who are actually close, but then once one of them wins a ring next year, now what? They just gap him and the other dude's a loser? And he hasn't done shit in his career? That's crazy. They was going back and forth for the title of the best player in the league, bro. Kobe would say that himself. He can't, unfortunately, anymore. But, like, I think even when he was alive, he has said nothing but praise for T-Mac and how they were on the same level and shit like that. And how their games are like some of their favorite games, and how they played one-on-one and they dispute what the score was. But and it was only one time that they did that shit. They said Kobe won though, but T-Mac said it was way more points that he had. But that's crazy to me, bro. Those comments was crazy to me. Like, people just forget, bro, just because you win. And D-Wade brought up a great point too. And I'm gonna add to his words. I don't know if you saw a D-Wade clip. And I don't even know if D-Wade said this in relation to LeBron shit or if it was something separate, because I saw it on Twitter. D-Wade had said, like, people forget Kobe didn't have the best game in 2010 in Game 7. And the way that he said it was, you wouldn't have noticed, though. Because he did the other shit, like, at the rebounds, and she had, like, 15, 16 rebounds. Respect, right? But then he brought Pau Gasol and his importance, right?
Pau Gasol went crazy.
And nobody talks about that shit.
Nobody.
And Pau didn't shoot the best. No one in that game shot good. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Pau shot 50%. But Pau shot, like, 7 for 16, I think it was. Which isn't great, but it's not as bad as everybody else. Ray Allen missed every shot. Kobe shot like shit. Kobe shot 6 for 24. Everybody shot like shit in that game. Pau Gasol shot the best. Pau Gasol still had a very good game. Now, D-Wade kind of dragged and said Pau Gasol could have won Finals MVP. I would even push that narrative, to be honest with you. I would say, though, which a lot of people want to get rid of, is the fact that he was very important in that game and that whole series, because he wasn't scared of Kevin Garnett no more like he was kind of in 2008. But my point with where I'm getting at is, if Kobe lost that game, we don't talk about he's 5-time champion, this, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. It would have been, wow, Kobe choked and shot like shit and shot 25% in a Game 7. Fuck the rebounds. People wouldn't even care about the rebounds if he lost. They would have said, yo, he choked. He shot like shit. He shot his team out the game like they did in 2004. So, like, imagine 2004 if he didn't lose.
And that would have been the lasting memory, because
it would have just been they won. It just would have been they won. But he shot just as bad in 2010 as he did in 2004. The difference is, all we remember is 5. And to get the 5th one, he beat Boston. Not how ugly it looked. And it looked just as ugly as 2004. You could watch both of them. It looked just as ugly as 2004. But nobody cares because he won, bro. That's the thing. That's why it's kind of getting a little bit nasty. And you can't take away that he's a champion, that he won number 5. Of course not. But the point is, team accomplishment. Kobe fans like to say Kobe won without a top 75 player. So what? Pau Gasol is a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer in his own right. He is a numerous time All-Star, All-NBA. Phenomenal time before he got there, leading the Grizzlies to 50 wins. He never got the first round. I don't even know if he won a playoff game, to be honest with you. I think he got swept every single time.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
I think he got swept every single time, even though he was winning 50 still. But, like, come on, man. Like, we're going to devalue him to uplift one other guy.
That's crazy. 50 with the Grizzlies is impressive.
Yeah. With, like, Shane Battier and what, Jay Will.
And Mike Miller.
Yeah, Mike Miller. And it's like, he's not even the only one to do that shit. But technically, Bron did it in 16 because Kyrie got kicked off the list. Tim Duncan did it in 05 and 07 because TP and Manu didn't make the list. But it's like, who cares? Everybody I named, Kyrie, TP, Paul Gasol, Manu, they're all Hall of Famers. Fuck this shit trying to push that agenda of like, oh, they did it by themselves. You don't win by yourself. Never have, never will. You cannot name one player who won by themselves. You can name players, like I said, the first 3 who won without an all-star. And that's still very impressive. And I still value those rings more than the ones with all-stars and with super teams. But they still didn't show up 1v5. They didn't suit up 1 versus 15. Those guys contributed. You want to talk about Mike and how you mentioned earlier, Ray Allen saved LeBron, or even, the other one, Kyrie saved LeBron. What about Paxson? What about Steve Kerr hitting game winners? Both of them hitting game winners for him. They didn't save him. What about Derek Fisher, 0.4?
Derek Fisher, 09 finals. Back-to-back shots.
Robert Horry, 2002 versus the Kings. Those guys didn't save Mike and Kobe. Are we sure about that? If the Warriors won in 16, actually no, that one's different because Curry didn't show up. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to defend Curry for once. I couldn't do it.
Ron
I couldn't.
Artest, 2010.
Ron Artest. Oh yeah, when he was like, I was surprised Kobe gave me the ball.
All the fans were like, "No, don't shoot." He shot that shit,
Like Westbrook.
and then he was like,
Westbrook.
"Yeah." And then at the podium, he was like, "Kobe, pass me the ball."
Yeah, he's like, Kobe passed me the ball. That shit was ridiculous, but man, I mean, I want to get off of the ring shit, but I'm also going to the triangle offense shit real quick. How do you feel about it, first of all? The triangle offense comment.
I think LeBron is right. Like that shit would not work today. Like the whole thing. Like certain aspects could work, like he said, but I agree with him. Last time we saw that shit with the Knicks, it was garbage.
It was called outdated.
Yeah. And some people could be like, "Oh, the Knicks didn't have the personnel because they fucking suck." But shit, like even then,
It's just not working.
it's not gonna work. Like, and people try to attack Bron on Twitter, like, "Oh, he's trying to discredit Mike and Kobe calling out the triangle offense." I'm like, no, it's just the NBA is played at a different pace now than it was back then. That shit would not work for an 82 game season.
Fuck no.
No, like
Definitely not playoffs.
yeah, that shit isn't. The game was played slower back then, so you could get away with that shit because that shit is better for like slower paced teams. But now, hell no. Like you think you're gonna beat the Pacers today with the triangle offense? Fuck out of here. Like,
Even to bring up another team like D'Antoni's original 7 seconds or less, that wouldn't work today. You know why? Because it's too slow.
yeah.
It sounds funny that the fastest team in that point in time, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, like LeBron with the triangle offense, because you guys want to get so sensitive with Kobe and Mike, we'll take another team. We'll look at the 7 seconds or less Suns. They would be the slowest team today. And there's nothing wrong with that. We needed them to break the pace, like just like crazy back then, to have what we have today.
Yeah.
We needed the triangle back then, and we could use aspects to get to where we are today. That doesn't mean you go backwards and use shit that's not applicable today.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I don't have a house phone. Why the fuck would I use a house phone? I have an iPhone in my pocket. It's the same shit. Why would I run the triangle offense when I have it? I'm actually going to give him props for the one and only time today. Why would I run the triangle offense when I have Halliburton? Why would I do
For
that?
real. Like the fuck.
Why would I do that? Or even if you want to take away play styles and just talk about how they played back then, why would I just shoot mid-rangers? Do you see any team in the league fiending to start shooting mid-rangers again instead of threes? No. Not even the Kings. Like, no, nobody's fiending to shoot straight up mid-rangers again. And no threes. And only take like 10 threes a game. No one's doing that anymore. You got to make 10 threes in the league. Fuck attempting. So it's like, there was nothing wrong with what he said at all.
No.
And again, those two fan bases, they're very sensitive about anything this man says. Off rip, it was, Bron couldn't win in the triangle offense. Why is he disrespecting Kobe and Mike? Who cares, bro? You can't play the triangle today. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't run two post-up bigs who can't shoot anymore. You can't do that shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, bro. We've evolved, bro. The game is more innovative today.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. You need the house phone to make the iPhone. You feel me? Like, I'm going to say it again. Like, that's just how it goes. You needed it. It's not disrespecting it. It's just that shit wouldn't work today. The Knicks tried it. We were called outdated. The team was garbage, and it didn't work. And we brought in a coach who didn't even want to run that shit. And Phil Jackson said, nah, run it. But that shit was outdated 10 years ago. From that point in time. And that was 8 years ago. So that shit to me was ridiculous, bro. This is all the Bron talk that y'all was going to get for today. It's 34 straight minutes of Bron.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to my fanatics. I wish I could go to that.
Yeah, I wish I went to that shit.
I would shake his hand.
I think Wemby gonna be there too.
Nigga, I'm there for Bron. Bron and A-Rod.
Damn.
And Eli Manning. Eli Manning, you saw Tom Brady come out to a Cody Rhodes theme song, and Eli Manning ran up and started choking him out. And then Eli Manning later came out to the Roman Reigns theme song.
Wow.
And he went like that. He said, acknowledge me. Yeah, that shit was cool, bro. Nah, man. Let's talk about this Desmond Bane trade, Justin. Give me all the details, bro.
Oh man, Desmond Bane last week on Sunday got traded for a big ass haul.
Oh, I'm so sorry, by the way, because I had this ready for you. This is quick, and then we're gonna move on.
What?
So I was close with the Steve Nash record on my 23rd birthday. Book dropped 47 right against the Nugs.
Yeah.
So I was close. Steve Nash still had the 48, but Book had 49 versus the T Wolves. I forgot about that. And then Barkley actually has a record 56. That's all I want to say.
I remember that.
I
book
forgot. I
Wasn't
forgot about the
that
Barkley shit.
The book 49 was when they that's the
Got
game
swept.
swept.
They still got swept.
The Barkley had like 50 some, right?
6.
50, yeah.
56 versus
Spurs?
the Warriors. 94. Chris Mullin and them run TMC. But Steve Nash is still third. He shouldn't be here based on his player profile, to be honest with you. And he's here. That was the only point I wanted to make real quick.
That's impressive. So the Memphis Grizzlies traded Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 first-round draft picks unprotected, and a pick swap. So this was like the big trade, unexpected. Nobody saw this coming, and it was a wild one to say the least. For Orlando, they got their shooter, another shot creator, ball handler that they so desperately needed. I mean, I see a lot of people already like kind of giving out grades and shitting on one side, shitting on Orlando, but
I'll shit on Memphis.
But to be honest, I like this trade for Orlando.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
The one thing I will say is like, I don't want to shit on them until like more information comes out. And this is also one of those trades where you kind of have to like wait and see. But I hope for their sake that they did their due diligence and checked in on Trae Young and Anthony Simons, before they pulled the trigger. If news comes out that they did that and those teams wanted more and they just said no, and Desmond Bane was on your short list of guys that like, all right, we would be comfortable making that move for him, then that's cool. But I would just want to keep that in mind. But the one thing that still concerns me with Orlando is like they still don't have a point guard.
Thank you. That was my biggest point.
Because as good as Desmond Bane is, like, yeah, he is there to relieve the pressure off of Paolo and Franz. He's still not a point guard. Like, yeah, he's good creating his own shot and scoring off the dribble. Great shooter. But you need that point guard, bro, especially in the playoffs. This team is talented enough to win a lot of games in the regular season, but this move is just showing that the front office is like, yo, we feel like we believe in Paolo and Franz, and we're gonna try to go for this thing, especially with the Celtics being out. We want to prove that we can make a run. I don't necessarily believe that, or I don't have the same optimism that they do, but if you're a Magic fan, yeah, I would feel the same way. Like, we can't bring in another draft pick and try to develop. Like, Paolo and Franz are good now, and you could say like this was the year from hell for Orlando. You had three guys out with oblique injuries, and they won 41 games. I believe if Paolo didn't get hurt or if Franz didn't get hurt, like if one of them was out there, they probably would have won more games. Because 2024 they won 48 games. So
5 seed.
Yeah. So I think it's a good move for them, but you're kind of just locking in this group right now. So this kind of just tells me that next season, Franz, you better be ready to play, because if you have another closeout game where you go 6 for 25, your ass might be on the hot seat.
It should be.
Like nobody is saving Orlando outside of Paolo. And for Memphis, if the plan is to rebuild, I like the move. But if you're just gonna retool, and some reports was like they're gonna use these picks to make a bigger trade, I don't like this move at all. Because with how weak the East is, those picks ain't gonna mean shit. And the only pick that might be worth something is that Phoenix swap, but it's like tied in with like 3 other teams, and even that shit is like you can't even. You're just gonna have to wait and see about that. And that was just like a throw-in for the KCP contract. And Cole Anthony, I doubt he's gonna stay with this team. But I think if your plan is to rebuild afterwards, I like it, because I think, me personally, you're gonna get a bigger haul for Triple J, despite what people may say. Because Ja Morant, I don't think he's gonna be a lot harder to move than Triple J, in my opinion. You might have to be stuck with Ja Morant. I don't see many teams like fiending for Ja Morant. I don't see that. So he's a guy that you might have to literally take pennies on the dollar for, or you might have to just thug it out with him. But if your plan is gonna be to retool, I don't like that because the West is getting better, and losing Desmond Bane when you guys were already like a mediocre team as is, I don't like it. And who's gonna come in and fill that role? People are saying Scottie Pippen Jr., maybe Gigi Jackson. I don't know. Jalen Wells. We'll see, but I'm not really that high on it. If your plan is to retool, I'm not high on this trade for the Grizzlies. But if you're gonna rebuild and blow it all up, then I'm okay with it.
My main concern is like happy that Orlando took swings. Of course, I hope this wasn't your first option. That's no disrespect to Bane, but point guard play is still a question. And I feel like it sucks to always say this about the Magic because it feels like, we're not respecting Jalen Suggs, but it's like we respect Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs is a great player, but I don't want my as my floor general, number one. Number two, I'd prefer to have Jalen Suggs as a defensive anchor in my backcourt with a point guard who could play make. And now it's like you brought another like two guard who's not the best playmaker. You don't want to make him your primary playmaker. So who's your primary playmaker now? Him or Suggs? I don't like that at all. My question to you though, Justin, because I still think it is a good move for them though. I know you said, not really big on doing grades and shit. I'll give him like a B+ for shit though. Fuck it. Who's the second option? I know you said the thing with Franz and the concerns with the playoffs and shit like that, but who's the second option going into the season?
The second option for the Magic?
Yeah.
I mean, I would still say Franz.
Okay, yeah, all right. We're on the same page. And I want to make sure because I don't want to force Bane into that number 2 already.
Yeah.
I think Bane's not even that good as a number 2 anyways. I think he's better as a third option.
I would have liked this move more if Orlando had their point guard already and they added Bane. Then I would have been like, whoa.
I would be scared.
I'd be like, whoa. But the fact that they don't have a point guard, like, and it's like, yeah, cool. Jalen Suggs played point guard in high school and college. But it's like in the NBA, he hasn't had to do that. He's literally carved out his own role and excelled in it. And that wasn't by being a point guard. Now the front office is just like, oh, yeah, you played a point guard in college and high school. You could do it now.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah. When it's not the role at this point. So I think that's going to be something that they're going to have to look towards. And the one thing I will say too is like, and I've said this before in previous episodes, like you can't rely on one guy to solve your spacing issues. Because that's
what they did last year.
That's
literally
what they did last year with KCP. They're like, oh, they got their shooter. Now that's going to solve everything. Like, I mean, Desmond Bane, obviously, I don't think he's going to have a shitty year like KCP did, but like, you can't bank on one guy to just fix all your spacing. Jalen Suggs has to prove that the 2024 shooting year was not a fluke. Franz has to come out ready to be a spacer. Even Paolo has to make some type of improvement because you are going to be starting Wendell Carter, who's like, yeah, I've seen him hit a couple threes, but like, you're not risking your life to go close out.
No, you live with that shit 100 times.
So you can't just bank on one guy to be your sole spacer. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, man. I still think there's a good move for them. I don't even know if they can even do anything else from here. But they're kind of like handcuffed at this point in time. This is going to have to be their big move of the offseason. And props to them. But again, I just wish you had your point guard already. I just wish. I think a Jalen Suggs and a pure point guard, a pure floor general backcourt would be incredible. But we're not going to get that. Yeah. They just closed the door on that. For Memphis, hey, man, go all the way. Blow it up. I mean, don't give us Triple J, though.
Yeah, I don't want
that. I'm not going to smile about. Don't give us no bum-ass Triple J, bro.
I don't want Triple J.
We don't want that fucking bum. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't want him. I don't care if we're trading just Tyler Kolek for him. I'm not doing that 1-for-1 swap. I don't want him on my fucking team.
I don't want Triple J.
The last thing I need is him getting out rebounded by TJ McConnell next year in the second round.
Yeah.
Because that should piss me off is if he has 3 and TJ McConnell has 5. Just based off pure hustle. I can't say that on the show. But just know I would, do things I can't say on here if that shit was to ever happen with him in a blue and orange jersey.
Nah, I'm good off that.
Blow it up though. Do not, like Justin said, do not use this for like a bigger trade. KD don't want to be there anyways. I'm not gonna say the same shit Stephen A said, like, oh, they're scared to go to Memphis. As if there isn't a team in fucking Chicago. I mean, no one wants to go there anyways, but you know what I mean. But it's like, come on, bro. Like, KD doesn't want to be there. You can't force it. Jimmy didn't want to be there. Just blow it up. Blow it up. Your short window of 1 year closed, because I don't even believe in 23 would have did anything. 22 was your best shot. You feel me? The West is wide open in 22. Your window closed. It was barely open. It's shut and locked with a padlock. That's it. Move on.
Yep.
Trade Ja, trade Triple J, and if you can't do it all in one summer, trade one more and trade the other one at the deadline. It's over.
Yep.
This I don't even know what to call this era of the Grizzlies because they're not green ground. What would you call them?
Not even gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm setting you up exactly because I would say the same thing. I would say the same exact thing.
I guess
the gritty Grizzlies.
Nah. I guess the Ja era.
That's so lazy, bro.
No, I had a fire one pop up immediately, but I'm like, I can't even say that.
Can't say it. Me neither. I think we have the same idea.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say too is it's so funny that Draymond said the dynasty starts after you with Dylan Brooks. There's no fucking dynasty brewing, bro. It's over.
Yeah.
I've been low on them since they came up. Low on them now. Been right every single time. I don't give a fuck.
And that window was like,
that's what I'm saying. It was like this open,
yeah,
and just slammed shut.
It was literally from 2022 to.
I'm not even giving them 23. I'm not giving them that.
Yeah.
I'm not giving them 23, bro. I'm sorry. Jokic would have fried them boys, bro. I'm not giving them 23. 22, if y'all beat Steph, y'all could have went band for band with Luka.
2022 was their best.
That's it.
Year.
Couldn't even get to the conference final.
Ja. And yeah. They still barely got by the Timberwolves.
Ridiculous. With Cat playing like an idiot too.
Yeah.
Love Cat, but with him playing like
Cat
an idiot.
like
trying to throw games away.
Like, yeah.
Nah, the shit
and
where
sophomore Anthony Edwards.
The shit where he was just throwing the ball in between his legs, not even dribbling.
If they ran that shit back a year later, the Timberwolves would beat them.
Timberwolves will fry them. This iteration of the Timberwolves is way better than that one too. Like way better. They clear them badly. Stay on topic of the trades though, Justin. And since you did say mini, we know Kevin Durant's not going to Minnesota. He absolutely doesn't want to go there no matter what. It's looking still like Spurs or Houston. It's going to be in Texas, bro. We're already seeing reports of, the Rockets just want to give up Jalen Green in the 10th.
That's crazy.
And they're, even though Kevin Durant's old and I said, like, I don't want him on the Knicks, for example, and so on and so forth. Excuse me. Stop nut hugging prospects, bro. That there's nothing I hate more than like nut hugging prospects because and we fall for it too, Every fan does. Like you're gonna think that these role players that are young are gonna turn out to be something greater than they are. It doesn't always pan out. It rarely does, Like who's a guy that I fought? THJ on the Knicks is one guy I fell for. Happens to everybody. You think like I don't want to trade him because look how great THJ is at this young age. Bro, send away Reed Shepherd. Send away Jabari, bro. Give him whatever young guys you got besides Amen and Şengün, honestly. Like, give those guys up. Give up Cam Whitmore. He's not even getting burned with you guys like that. You can't feel bad about giving him away.
Cam Whitmore, Jabari, and 10?
I still think you gotta get rid of Jalen Green, bro.
Yeah, you do. But I feel like...
But while the Suns want him.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's why it's stalled because I feel like Phoenix is trying to get a third team in there that will take Jalen Green, and nobody wants Jalen Green.
I can't believe people really said that he's a star. I can't believe Gil said that we need him as an all-star on the Knicks. I can't believe people try to say that him and Cade was on the same level. Even from the jump, I thought Cade was way better. I can't believe this, bro. And now they don't even want him in this trade. I don't blame him.
I don't think anybody wants him.
I don't blame him.
Phoenix is probably calling mad people, or Houston's like, yo, you guys like Jalen Green?
I wouldn't want him off the bench. That sounds like I'm exaggerating. Maybe I am, but I wouldn't want him off our bench, bro. He wouldn't even want to come off the bench anyways. deal's kind of looking like a deadlock right now, but stop worrying about, oh, I don't want to let go of these guys. Let them go, man.
Yeah.
Let them go. This is Kevin Durant we're talking about. 36, 37 years old. I get it. You're worried about the age. Everyone's worried about KD's age, but we know he's still a hooper based off of last season, right? So don't be too scared, man. Your window just opened. Take advantage of these 1-2 years of Kevin Durant that you could get, where he's hopefully still great.
Yeah.
Don't worry about no Jabari Smith Jr. pausing that shit.
I think it's more so because the Jalen Green shit.
Yeah.
I think if Phoenix was willing to take Jalen Green, the trade probably would have happened already. I think that's really what it is. I don't think there's a big attachment to Jabari. I mean, even though he did show some good signs, if you're gonna get Kevin Durant, you would take that. And I think he's gonna be due. I think he's gonna be a restricted free agent next year. So I think they would move Jabari and Cam Whitmore. I think the one they would want to keep is probably Reed.
I'm okay letting him go.
I think he's the one that they would kind of want to keep, but I think Jabari, Cam, and Jalen Green, in a heartbeat I would, and the 10th pick. So, and that's Phoenix's pick too. So, I know Phoenix would really love that shit.
My thing is though too, bro. I think it's both. If you want to be honest, I think it's the Jalen Green shit, but I think it's also just the fear of letting these guys go. And I think so many teams are always hung up about that shit. What's the worst one in history, Justin? I have the answer. I don't know if you have a different one.
For
buying too much into youth, a guy being young and being productive at a young age, or even just raw potential to not trade him for a star, and it holds up a trade. I know the best answer.
Your answer is probably better than mine because I just thought of the first shit that popped in my head.
Do you have one?
Taylor Horton Tucker.
That's actually a really good one. That's a really good one.
Do you remember that shit, man?
I'll do one better. We can't get Amari because we don't want to get rid of J.J. Hickson.
Man.
Imagine telling LeBron that with a straight face. I can't get you prime MVP candidate Amari Stoudemire because I don't want to let go of J.J. Hickson.
That's like front office malpractice, bro.
And motherfuckers wonder why
This is why he left. Why he left.
I wish I could go into 2K but go that specific year instead of the Bron era, the whatever era, the whatever era. And I know it's too complicated to be like, oh, drop you in 2007, pick any year you want from 84 to today. But I wish I could drop in that specific year and trade J.J. Hickson for Amari and see what happens. That is the worst one, bro.
That's bad.
Baseball gets even worse because you don't know what these prospects are going to be, and they might look bad in the minors. But like in the NBA, even it's bad, bro. I don't want to give up this guy to get a star. Like, bro, stop holding it up. Just do it. Don't be scared of getting fleeced, man.
Yeah.
A lot of these motherfuckers be scared of getting fleeced. Of course, there's no problem having that fear, but being too scared to do anything. Bro, imagine us saying like, I don't know, man. I like Daddy and Cole's potential. I don't want to give him up for Giannis.
Yeah, that
like,
would be
come on,
stupid
man.
as fuck.
But I guarantee you, there's actually people who think that they're like, we're giving up too much. Bro, it's Giannis. It's Durant. You know, it's star players. It's top 15, top 10, top 5 players. You have to give to get. This shit is stupid, bro. To me, it's stupid to be so desperate to hold on to prospects like that.
Yeah.
Let them go, man. Houston, if you don't make that decision soon, you know who's gonna be calling. The other team in Texas.
Yep.
And then we're gonna see a Wemby, Durant, De'Aaron Fox, big three. Man, that's the dream. But they don't even want to give up the number 2 pick. I kind of don't blame them, but at the same time, I don't like, which we're gonna talk about later on, obviously towards the end of the show. I don't like them having number 2. Yeah. I think it's more detrimental that they landed at 2 than being where they should have been, which is like 5, 6. Which sounds stupid to say out loud, but it's the truth.
I thought they were going to be like 6, 7, which I thought would have been perfect for them. What happened?
I thought there was going to be what?
6, 7?
We'll move on.
I don't know.
Thought it was going to be picked 6, 7, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. It's even funny that you don't know, bro. It's even funny that you don't. I'll explain after. Fuck it. But I'm sorry. Yo, can we talk about this Lakers sale? I'm sorry, fuck this
The
Spurs.
Lakers sale, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Buss family just sold majority stake of the Lakers to Mark Walter for $10 billion.
Wow.
Mark Walter is the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Los Angeles Dodgers, fuck him, bro.
Yeah. So pretty big move. And Dr. Jerry Buss, rest in peace, he bought the team back in 79 for 67 mil.
Best owner of all time.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a big move in Lakerland.
Is he the most iconic sports owner of all time?
In all sports?
I think it's 3 guys, and one of them doesn't deserve to be there.
Was Jerry Jones on that list? Yeah.
I think it's him, Jerry Jones, and George Steinbrenner from the Yankees. They're all tied.
Yeah.
I think that's the 3 most iconic owners in all sports in America.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to him though. Shout out to Dr.
Right
Buss.
below them, maybe Robert Kraft might be like a little bit below them.
Fuck Robert Kraft.
But yeah, I mean, crazy move. I don't have a shit ton to say. I know Lakers fans are probably like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." I don't know. I don't really have like. I remember when the news came out, I was like, "Wow, damn, that's cool," and that was it. I don't really have much else to say about it, but it was I didn't think the Buss family would sell their stake, but
Yeah, it's big news. A little bit sad though. Like, we're not gonna spend too much time on this, but it is important news. It is kind of sad because, you know, the Lakers are the Buss family, and the Buss family are the Lakers.
yeah.
It's been in the family for what, 50 years? Close to 50.
I remember when he passed away and they had the JB on the jerseys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just kind of feels weird. Like, we're obviously not gonna notice even 2 weeks from now, because not gonna be like no major like change to the Lakers or anything. It's not like they're gonna change the logo or the jerseys or the court.
Nah.
But it's still gonna be weird knowing that this is not the Buss family's team anymore.
Yeah.
Genie's still gonna be involved, obviously, but I never thought I'd see the day. Like, again, comparing it to another sport, I could not see the Yankees and Hal Steinbrenner, after taking over the team from his pops, selling the team to an outsider. I can't see that, but it's probably gonna happen one day. But I cannot see that happening.
Yeah. This was one of those.
I didn't think this shit was gonna happen.
This was one of those I didn't see happening because like
No whispers about it either.
no whispers, nah. And like all the success in the Buss era, it was like
Doctor.
Dr. Buss, yeah.
After that, not too much.
Yeah, after that, yeah. But it's crazy. Yeah, this is something I didn't ever see coming. For it to kind of leave the family name, even though they are still going to be involved a little bit. But
shout out to Big Buss.
Yeah,
Not for real.
Not Dr. Buss was the GOAT though.
Yeah, he's the GOAT NBA owner, and like I said, he's tied in that top 3.
Yeah.
Well, not for again. Jerry Jones is not best. We're just gonna say iconic. Jerry Jones is not close to being the best owner, even if it's sport, but he's tied in that top 3 of most iconic like American sports owners in history. History, bro. So shout out to him. Justin, we're at what everybody wants to hear. The NBA Finals is going to Game 7. But before we talk about Game 7, we got to talk about 5 and 6, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, Game 5, we know what the main story was. Mr. J-Dub himself, the guy who I doubted, the guy who proved me wrong and said to me, like, Jordan, fuck you. I can be a second option in the playoffs. I can be that guy to help support Shea. He dropped 40. Major props to him. I will just spoil it right now before we talk about Game 6. We got to stick to 5. That flowers I gave him, that shit wilted ASAP.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That shit did not live for too long. He did not water that fucking flower I gave him.
Yeah.
But he did his thing in Game 5, and you can't take away from that. The other story too, as well, is TJ McConnell vehemently outplaying Halliburton and getting taken out at a terrible time in the fourth quarter just to put back in Halliburton. You want to reward the guys who get you back in the comeback. Why would you take him out? If I'm OKC, if I'm not on that court on the bench, and I see him taking out TJ McConnell, it sounds funny. To put in Halliburton, by the way, it sounds funny. I'm thinking to myself, oh, thank God. Thank God, bro. And again, I know it sounds crazy to say out loud, but it's just the truth. He did his thing. He also did his thing game 6. We're not going to talk about that yet. And he's kind of made himself into a finals MVP candidate if they win. He's legitimately been the second best pacer in the series.
He's been fucking amazing.
And not even for me to troll Hallie, which I love to do, but he's been better than Halliburton in the series. And Siakam's still the undisputed number 1 candidate for finals MVP.
Siakam has... I was telling people all day yesterday.
It's been phenomenal.
I was like, bro, if they win, Siakam is going to be the finals MVP. Like, no question.
Hey, man, I said after the game winner and shit, and I was called a hater. That's fine.
Like, even yesterday, like, it wasn't like an I mean, not yesterday. Game 6. Like, it wasn't even an explosive game from Siakam, but it was like, shit. Like, this motherfucker is definitely going to be the finals MVP.
Bro, sometimes you're just early. You're early to being right. Shout out to Siakam. Justin, how'd you feel about game 5? Because, again, that was the 2 biggest stories, TJ McConnell. And of course, Shea did his thing, too, especially on the playmaking side, which was very rare. But obviously, the main stories was J-Dub and TJ McConnell.
Game 5, yeah, I was moved by the J-Dub performance. I was like, wow. But then, like, typical NBA media, NBA discourse the very next day is like, this is the top duo since what? J-Dub, the new Scottie Pippen, like all
Off rip, too.
off rip. And then it's like game 6 minus 40. Like, like the pendulum swing from game to game is so crazy to me. It's so fucking funny, but it was an impressive game. Like 40 in the finals, we always praise that shit. Chris Middleton doing it, D-Book doing it. Like, it's a big deal. Shea had a great performance as well, bouncing back from the game 4 game. Even though he had the big shots in game 4, but he bounced back. And like you said, TJ McConnell giving the Pacers life. He's been like everything for the Pacers in the series. And it was expected, the outcome. Like, after game 4, the way Indy lost it, I expected OKC to come back at home for game 5 and just punch them in the mouth. And that's exactly how the game went. And I was like, well, after game 5, I was like, feels like Indy missed the window.
I was happy.
And then game 6 happened. I was like, whoa. Was not expecting that.
We know what happened in game 6, though. Pascal Siakam summoned the voodoo spirits to empower the Pacers,
That
bro.
was crazy.
And they actually won.
That was
I was pissed off. TJ did his thing again. Siakam did his thing.
Obi Toppin, shout out to him.
I was about to say Obi Toppin as well. Obi Toppin, probably the most underrated part.
He's been
I hate admitting this too. Because I was never high on Obi. Even when we drafted him, I was pissed off that we got him. To this day, I'm still pissed off. But I got to give him his one props. He's been the most underrated player in this entire series. So I guess rare shout out to Obi Toppin. I still don't fuck with you though. But Pacers tied it up, man, at home. I'm worried about that game 7. I ain't gonna lie to you. Is TJ McConnell really gonna come out with a 3rd classic in a row?
Damn. He might. He just might.
Oh, man, I pray they don't, bro. Yo, Shay, pray over a Bible, man.
What's good with Chet, man?
He's fucking terrible. Same with iHeart, man. They're both fucking terrible. But Chet's been the worst player in the series, maybe.
Chet's been bad, yo.
And of course, too, to talk about the J-Dub shit, since I already mentioned it earlier, how you go from 40 to negative 40?
That's crazy.
Scoring 40 to having negative 40 plus or minus.
Yeah.
Tell you, bro, that rose I gave him, the flowers I gave him, man, them bitches wilted ASAP. They turned black. She went from red to black ASAP. Just from game 5 to 6.
Shout out to Nimhard too, just making shit difficult for Shea.
Yeah.
And then Neesmith hitting just big shots. That Siakam buzzer beater to go into halftime was so cold.
Buzzer beater, that Siakam dunk.
Yeah, that was crazy too. But that buzzer beater to go into halftime was so cold. Like the aura was crazy.
Yo, Siakam really put his
dunk was crazy.
He really put his beef in bro's face.
Mike Breen is better than me because if I was on the call, I probably would have got fined. Because the shit I would have been screaming after that dunk.
That's why I can never be play-by-play or color. Because
I
I'll literally be like, he put his fucking dick in his face. I'm dead ass, bro.
I'd be like, Like I would have been saying that on live TV. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Breen is better
That's
than me.
worse than what I would say.
Well, Kevin Harlan, because people are like, Breen is washed. He didn't even get hyped for that.
Stop,
They're
bro.
like, this is why we need Kevin Harlan on
You
the
just don't
court.
want to cheer for him. And mind you, people glaze Breen for the finals for like the past decade.
And now this year, they're like, he's washed.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Harlan would have been like, "See, how come brings down the hammer?" Like he would have said some shit like that.
No, my favorite Kevin Harlan shit, not to get off topic, is still gonna be we was watching 2 NFL games. They're like, "What game are you calling?" He said, "I'm calling both games." That shit went hard, bro. That shit and the Jamal Murray buzzer beater, where Jamal Murray just stared at him like that.
Oh,
He was
he
just
was
screaming
like-
in his face. And he was just screaming in his fucking face. But that shit goes hard.
Oh man, me and D was talking about the Paul Pierce shit the other day when he hit the game winner, and Chris Broussard was like, "Did you call bank?"
I
He's
called
like, I called
game."
game. That shit was so funny. Yo. That shit is always funny as fuck. He looked dead in the camera too. He's like, "I called game."
Yeah, that shit was game sign. I thought the Paul Pierce moment he was talking about was he said, "I don't want a taste. I want the whole load."
That was crazy. Yo, they be doing this shit on purpose, bro.
Did you see the latest one? Damn, I forget the name of that show. I'm not gonna. I gotta start tapping into that whole show because the moments are funny with Chris Broussard, Nick Wright, and the other dude, the white dude. Someone else there says something. Wow, Mook, bro. I gotta look it up. But that shit was ridiculous. I think he said like, "Oh, his D is great," and Nick Wright just started smirking, and he started kind of doing the decline. He looked down, and Chris Broussard started looking down and like chuckling a little bit to himself. I think that's what he said. I think he said the D has been great. They said some shit like that. He said, he said, I need them to give great D, some shit like that. I was like, yo, pause. Nick Wright off rip just started smiling and looking around and started doing the dequan.
Nah, yeah. But like I'm hyped for guys like I'm happy for guys like TJ McConnell and Alex Caruso.
100%.
Because it's like
2 20-point games, bro, in the playoffs. Caruso had none in the regular season.
2 undrafted guys.
Yeah.
This is like
2 what guys?
I'm not saying that.
What? 2 guys who hustle, real coach's favorite, real coach's son, bring their lunch pail to work, play the game the right way. What'd you think I was gonna say?
Nah, but this is like these two are like the perfect example of like if you're a small guard, you gotta excel at like one thing.
Yeah.
To really make a name for yourself and to thrive in your role in the NBA. Like TJ McConnell, I forgot what interview it was. He was like, the shit that's gonna set me apart is just picking up 94 feet every game.
That was about to be my next question for you.
Yeah, and he said he just started doing that and he became that guy. And he's like, that's the one thing I'm gonna have to be better at everybody else at, just playing hard for the entire game, picking up 94 feet. And it's gotten him to this point where it's like, yo, you could literally say he has been a top 3 player on his team in the finals.
Is hustle a skill or intangible? Because he was kind of talking about that hustle's like a skill.
Kind of is, because like it's hard to hustle when some guys don't want to hustle when they're 0 for 7.
Or period.
Or
Even
period.
if they're playing great.
Period. Like it takes a certain like mental just to persevere through that. And especially like a guy like him where it's like, I mean, he's fortunate enough on his team where he gets those opportunities, but like imagine other guys where like they might go like 9-10 possessions in a row where they don't even touch the ball, and then you're asking them to go pick up 94 feet and dive for every loose ball. Not everybody is doing that, so that's credit to him. Like he's a guy who probably didn't even know or think he was gonna get a second contract. So, but he's gained more opportunity because in all of his minutes that he gets, he's making the most of them, and that's a credit to him. Alex Caruso, same thing. G League, I forgot. I think it might have been on JJ's pod. G League made the most of his minutes. Summer League cooking. When he got his minutes in the NBA, those garbage time minutes, that's when guys even said. You even saw it with Deuce when he was talking to Daddy A and Huck Porty. He's like, yo, these minutes at the end of the game, these garbage time minutes, still go hard because that's kind of the only time you get, and you still want to get your shit off. And
That's your show.
same thing. Peyton Pritchard said the same thing.
I was gonna say
So
PP.
that's kind of where you have to go in that sense. So I always like seeing guys like that making a name for themselves and carving out a role. Because like I don't know about other people, but for me, like these role players, these glue guys, they will always get remembered in history for like 10 years from now. I'm gonna be like, yo, Alex Caruso, shit, like that guy he was one of them.
Look at Dellavedova, and they talking about him getting the IV after guarding Curry. That was 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
It's been exactly 10
like
years.
same way like the OGs talk about like Charles Oakley and Ron Harper and guys like that. Those guys are gonna mean something in the future. So you can't just forget about them just because they're not the star player, because they're a big reason why both of these teams are here. And like every team is gonna have a guy like that. Like last year's finals, you had a guy like Derek White.
Yeah.
On the Maverick side, you had a guy like Derek Jones Jr. Like, so you're gonna see it within every team. Like every team that makes a deep run is gonna have a guy like this. Like every team with championship aspirations, and that's why when that fucking Caruso trade happened, I'm like, well, here we go. Like, this is gonna be the biggest blessing.
I'm still saying that was win-win. I don't give a fuck. I respect Josh Giddey out here for on-court activities. Shout out to him. Who's winning Game 7?
Pacers.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Thunder, bro. Thunder blowout, too. Thunder winning by 12 or
Damn,
more.
I would hate a Game 7 blowout, bro.
We haven't had one since
74
or whatever it was. Yeah,
The Celtics one?
Yeah, the Celtics, because you saw the same graph that I did.
Yeah.
All of them was under 10 points except that one.
15-point game. Yeah.
They're going to win by 12 or more.
I would hate that, bro.
I'm going to take negative 11.5 spread. I'll put money on it, too, on
I need a
FanDuel.
Game 7, like, nail-biter.
Fuck that, bro. Put these motherfuckers to bed, bro. Take their morale
What would you
away.
do if Halliburton hits, like, a step back on Shea
I'll
to win? Now, what would be worse, step back on Shea or step back on Chet to win the game?
I told Josh last night, and I ain't gonna lie, there's just Pacers when I was like, I'll stop watching ball next season. I can't do back-to-back Tatum and Halliburton rings. I can't do it, bro. But if Halliburton really hits a game winner over like Shea and Caruso or Shea and Case and Wallace at the same time, like a midi shit, I might have to close the show.
And imagine it's not even like it's like a bounce off the back of the rim,
like against us.
spins off, bounces, doom, doom, doom.
I would sell my share of the show, and you would have to get Josh to be the other Jay. I would not come in here ever again.
Game 7, anything could happen.
But it has to be a Halliburton game winner. I'm not gonna exaggerate and say if the Pacers win. If it's a Halliburton game winner, bro, I won't show up here. And you could have Josh here and start the Esco show.
Can't wait for that. Game 7, anything could happen, man. And these are like the two teams where they have the personnel where like the one guy could, like this could be an Aaron Wiggins hits 6 threes.
Oh man,
This could be a Nimhard. Shit, that's a scary shit about Nimhard. Nimhard could be like 1 for 7, but he'll hit like the biggest 3 of the game.
Neesman's gonna have 4 threes. If they win, he's gonna have 4 threes. That's just gonna kill me. 4 or 5.
I feel like Indiana has more guys that could have that crazy Game 7 game.
Shit, I'm gonna need 38, bro.
Like imagine Ben Shepherd just comes out and hits 5 threes.
At that point, bro, I would send somebody in just to foul that nigga, bro. Hard. Slap the shit out of him. Shout out to Double J, though. Getting into the game again. Get the fucking tech.
He got ejected.
Yeah. Offer it, bro.
He's funny as fuck.
In like a minute. The scariest motherfucker in the league, man. Give me the Thunder, though. Shea is going to have 38. I'm not putting nothing on Chet, bro. You're fucking ass. Shea's going to have 38. J-Dub, I'm going to need like 30. Sorry.
No.
23. That's
I
what
was
I'm
about
going
to
to
say.
say. I was about to say 33. I'm going to need 23, 24 from you. Everyone else, do your shit, bro. Knock these motherfuckers down. Halliburton's not going to even score 15, bro. It's going to be everyone else you got to worry about. Do not let Siakam score more than 27, please.
I can't wait for this Game 7 finals. I can't wait. I just hope it's a close game. Man.
You throwing anything on the grill
Nah.
for Game 7?
Maybe I'll order some wings or something.
I made some W eats, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Get House of Wings.
Maybe.
Have you had that shit? That shit bangs, bro. Halal spot. But me and D went together, fried out of our minds. That shit was delicious, bro. Had some chopped cheese fries. D had boneless wings. They had something else too. I had a buffalo chicken melt. That shit banged. You gotta hit that shit. That's just fire as fuck. And the wings is tough too.
Caruso the Thunder might have to pull what the Lakers did in 2020 and start Caruso for this game, though.
Please, bro, make it hell for them.
Yeah.
I'm begging y'all. Y'all need to stop fucking playing around. Time to slap that shit on their tongue and end the shit. No Diddy. And then it's over. 2025 NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. A team I doubted, but I'm forced to back right now this entire fucking series. This could have been you, Joker. That sucks too. Joker had the only title being the only like dude to take him to 7 this playoffs. And the fucking Pacers had to run that shit.
Yeah.
I fully believe, bro, if Jokic got out that round, he would have won a championship right now.
Yeah.
Miles Turner on Jokic, are you fucking kidding me?
That's funny as fuck.
Get the fuck out of here. Justin, are you ready for your favorite part of the show?
Yeah. I'm ready.
How do you want to do this? Actually, let's just do it the regular way, 1-1.
Yeah, the regular way. I think last year you got the first pick. So we're just changing year by year.
Wait, do you want... No, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to just say this is 1 and this is 1? Or do you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
I think how we normally do it, just...
Back and forth?
Back
so
and
you want
forth.
first?
It
It doesn't even matter, to be honest with you. With the first
matter.
2, bro.
This is going to be... Because when we did the Wemby mock draft, I was first.
Yeah.
And now...
I want to see how you do the 8 shit, because I ain't gonna lie. I didn't let him slide. I don't care. I did it by... This is where they should go. Now, because of this is why he's falling, this outside shit.
Nah.
This is where he should go.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't make him
obviously,
slide.
I'll talk
I wasn't
about
like,
it.
he's sliding to 9 now because he said this shit. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So, this is our 2025 NBA mock draft. I will have the first pick, the Dallas Mavericks, no question. It's taking Cooper Flag.
What?
Yeah.
You're not taking Derek Queen here?
Nah. It's not even a debate. I don't even have to say much. Like,
yeah, I literally wrote that. He has the shortest thing. I literally wrote, do I need to say more?
Yeah.
And then there was a little bit more after that.
Don't even got to talk about it.
The Mavs is already glazing too, though. They're like, he's better than we expected. That's crazy.
I heard he went out to dinner already.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The number 2 pick is also no surprise.
Crazy. He should be a senior in high school right now.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna tell you after the show. I'm not gonna say that.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say that.
Damn.
But number 2 is also kind of undisputed. I'm gonna give a little bit more though, and give a little bit more like, I don't like backstory, but like context to this shit. The Spurs are still gonna pick Dylan Harper. You still have to go BPA with a pick like this, where there's a undisputed second pick, right? When there's a guy who's solidified to be in a certain spot, where there's like this guy has to go top 3, this guy has to go first, this guy has to go second. You have to take him. I hate it though.
Yeah.
I hate it. Fox is in his prime and not even close to 30. He's still 2-3 years away from being 30, which is a lot of time in the NBA. And even then, when you hit 30, you're not old in the NBA. You're not old until you're like 33, 34. So he's in his fucking prime. This isn't he's 35 and now we're going to move on from him to this guy. You have Castle. And then you're going to bring in Dylan Harper. Like, you're robbing all 3 of these guys from being the best version of themselves if you take them. And I think who's going to take the worst hit, to be honest with you, you might think it would be, Harper. I think it would be Castle.
I think it would be Castle as well.
I think Castle would take the biggest hit with this draft pick, which is why they're in a tough situation. Is Kevin Durant really worth the second pick and extras?
I don't think
It kind of feels like too much.
Feels for Giannis, yeah.
I don't think Kevin Durant's worth a top 5 pick anymore. And that's with filler as well, but he has to go here, bro. Yeah. He's a phenomenal talent. You kind of can't rob him of this moment. You can't overthink it. If you're really not going to trade this pick, you have to take him, bro. Don't overthink and think about Ace and VJ and all this extra shit. You kind of have to fucking take him. Yeah. And it sucks. And I wish you had the pick that you should have had, which is like 6.
Yeah. That's what I told Vic. I was like, you can't overthink it. Yeah, the fit is going to be a question, but I guess from their standpoint, they're like, fuck it, we're going to take him and figure it out later. Because
I don't like that, though. Sometimes you don't figure it out later.
Yeah, sometimes you don't, but he is undoubtedly above everybody else. It's like Coop's in his own tier.
It's Cooper, Dylan, then it's him, and then everybody else. Yeah.
So I don't know how they're gonna make that shit work. Like if they never made the Fox trade, but we'll see how it goes.
Don't screw my boy over.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't get fucked over. But Dylan Harper to me is one of those guys where, and I should really write down the list of everybody I have. But like he's on that list of guys where like I don't see him failing in the NBA at all. Like
What counts as failing with his standards? Are you saying like all-star? Are you saying he's gonna be in the league for 10 plus years?
no,
What does that mean?
I really think. I mean, in this situation, it's gonna be tough. But like I really think he could be an all-star in this league. Like I really think
Me too.
he's that type of player. I mean, in this situation, it's gonna be tough to see that because the guy he has in front of him. But I really think he's that special. Like he has the NBA game, like big guard, could play off 2 feet, could facilitate. His 3-point shot was kind of down by the numbers, but like a lot of that is just him taking step back threes or just some shot selection questions. But like the finishing touch is there. He gets downhill, will get his teammates involved. Played with Ace Bailey, and he's gotten some of that playing off ball. So we'll probably see more of that this year when he's with the Spurs. But I can't deny the talent though. Like,
Polished and athletic.
yeah,
Number 3, brother.
yeah.
Big Philly.
So third pick, Philly. All the questions with what they're gonna do here. They're gonna trade down. That's like all the talks. But for this, I'm still gonna take Ace Bailey at 3.
Thank you, because I still have him 3 too. I don't give a fuck about
I
extra
could
noise.
see. I mean, I could see a world in real life where they take VJ,
Yeah.
which I think is gonna happen because I feel like Daryl Morey would like his type of archetype more. But I would take Ace here. Because I know Ace just skipped his workout with Philly. He's trying to like, fuck the people that he's getting bad advice right now.
This is just showing that they're only worried about bread.
Yeah.
Because Philly, because they said, oh, we want him on the East Coast from what do they say, from Atlanta to New York. That's where they want him to land, anywhere between there. But it's like, bro, Philly counts as that. So right now, I feel like he's worried about second
No,
contract.
he also wants to be the guy. He said,
which comes with the second contract.
Yeah, they're like he wants to go to somewhere where he has the path of like stardom and shit.
Do you really want to go to Charlotte?
His agent is Sharif Cooper.
Yeah, his dad. And his dad is saying, oh, we charging for interviews. What are we doing?
Yeah.
No one's ever done that
So
before.
I think
You
realistic.
think Wemby was charging for interviews?
No,
Yo,
that's
come
crazy.
on, bro.
So, that clip was funny. I forgot where it was at. They're like, your 2 strengths are this, blah blah blah, and then Ace Bailey was like, I ain't got no weaknesses, and I got more than 2 strengths, big dog.
This is a video?
This is a video. Yeah, that shit was so
I'm
funny.
about to look that shit up.
That
Bro.
shit-
How long ago was this? This is recent?
I want to say like a month ago. That shit was so funny. He's like, I got more than 2 strengths, big dog.
I'm about to look this shit up right now.
Yeah, bro, I would still take Ace here at 3. Like him being able to, I think the best thing for him, the best thing with Ace Bailey for him would be to be in a situation where there's structure. Oh, you found it?
Ain't got no weaknesses, and I got more than 2 strengths, big dog. You didn't gas the big dog shit. He really said that.
You want to play it out loud?
I don't see the video. Is this the video?
Because I heard the soundbite.
Because I just see the
That
quote.
shit
I
was
gotta
so
see the actual
funny.
video.
If you were giving your scouting report, what's your top 2 strengths, and what would be one weakness that you would write down on your own scouting report of yourself? I ain't got no weaknesses. I got more than 2 strengths, big dog.
Oh man,
Fucking troll, man.
he's
a
funny
fucking
as fuck.
troll.
But like, I think the best thing for Ace Bailey is to go to a team with structure,
Yeah.
and to be in a good situation because he is probably the biggest boom or bust prospect in this draft. So him trying to like torpedo his way to go somewhere where he could be the star, I don't think is in his best interest. I think he should want to be in a situation where there's other vets there, like a Tyrese Maxey. You have your favorite player, Paul George, there, and you could see what it's like to be a pro. You don't have the pressure of being the guy, and kind of just ease your way into that role. Build good habits. You don't want to go to a shitty team and you're getting away with building bad habits and shit like that. So
Especially not Charlotte, bro.
yeah, so I think the best thing for him is to go somewhere with structure, where the team has a plan for him and how to succeed in a simple way. On real draft night, I see him fall into fucking like 8. But
You don't think Utah takes a swing and calls his bluff? If I'm Utah, I'd be so happy
Victor
if he's
was saying that
available.
because he was like, I don't see Utah passing on him.
There's no way.
Yeah.
If he truly does fall that far and he doesn't go 3 or 4, if I'm Utah, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you
if I'm
want.
Utah, I'll call this bluff.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You can't go back to school anymore. Too late.
Yeah.
So you have to sign with us.
So I'm gonna still take him at 3. 4th overall pick, Charlotte Hornets.
So I'm still gonna take VJ, and VJ is obviously undisputed top 4 as well. Like you said, whatever Philly doesn't do is what Charlotte's gonna do. With how Charlotte is, man, you gotta go BPA, bro. I don't even give a fuck about fit. You're gonna just have to slot him next to LaMelo and B Mills and Bridges. I'm sorry, you just have to do it. You can't worry about fit when you're this garbage. Yeah. And hopefully that he pans out as well, because I think he could fit nicely over there. I don't think it's the greatest fit for him though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Charlotte's not a good fit for any prospect, and it sucks to say out loud, but it's the truth. They got a big ass mess down there. But I still think with his athleticism and his ability to score, I think he's going to do very well down there. Again, I'm still a little bit iffy, though, because I don't think he's one of those guys where his career is going to pan out the best going there. You have, like I said, LaMelo. You have B Mills. You have fucking Bridges. Everybody there is young, too, as well. They all want their shine. They all want the ball. Someone has to go there, though. He's by far the best available guy. I know we said we're going from tier to tier. This is the tiers to me. Cooper Flag, Harper, and him and Ace, and then everybody else. I think that's the right way to put it.
VJ and Ace, and then everybody else.
And then everybody else. So the first 3 are gone. You have to take him regardless and just hope that somehow it pans out, because he does have a lot of fucking talent.
Yeah.
By far, he is a very talented player. He's super athletic, but fuck the fit, bro. Yeah, just do it. And besides, anyways, what's even the best fit for them? They need a center. They need everything that's not LaMelo Ball. And that respect to B Mills too, because B Mills is gonna pan out to be a star. But like, let's be serious. Nobody's spot is 100% safe besides LaMelo's. So you might as well just go with the best guy.
Yeah.
It's like your point and your small forward and your power forward is all settled and shit, and now you can only go shooting guard or center. No, everything.
No, yeah,
Nobody's up for grabs.
Safe, yeah,
everything's up for grabs except point guard, and even then, you could still move LaMelo.
Yeah. The only other person I would have thought about here was Malowach from Duke, just because like the questions with Mark Williams,
too early,
the injuries
to me.
I don't think it's that early.
I have him lower. I don't think VJ should drop out the top 4.
Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see VJ going past 5. But Malowach is like the only other person I'd consider for Charlotte, just because the Mark Williams questions and the injuries and him potentially being traded, and then you could bring in that center. He's the only one, but I would still take VJ though, just because you need defense, especially on the perimeter, and then having an athletic play finisher like him to play alongside LaMelo, to play in transition. I think there's more weapons for LaMelo in the open court. And I think it'll be a good spot for him if he could get that consistent 3 ball. That's a plus. That's the biggest thing for him.
That's the concern. So
yeah, I don't buy into, because a lot of people are like, I think VJ could be like an all-star. Like, nah, I never saw that, but I do think he'll be a guy with a job in the NBA for a long time.
He'll be an exciting watch too. Yeah, but again, the 3 ball is sus.
Yeah, if he could be like the Asar Thompson for this Charlotte team.
That's asking a lot, though.
Yeah,
Asar too, by the way. Not even
Asar.
That's still asking for a lot.
If he could
bro.
be that, which is tough because Asar is a little bit taller and shit, but
wingspan.
If he could kind of be in that role for this team, I think that's a good step for them. 5th overall pick, Utah Jazz. Man, I think
it's a weird spot.
Man, I mean, for me, for them, I'm gonna take Trey Johnson out of Texas.
Wait, should I spoil who I have here or just leave it alone?
Who do you have here?
I had Khan here. It's pretty early, but the thing is,
nah, it's not. I think that's where he's probably.
It's a little bit early.
It's around where he's gonna.
Well, this is 5. I've seen him go anywhere between like 7 and 10, right? So it's still a little bit early. My thing is, this is my thing right before I let you go into your thing. They just have so many young guards, bro. And even though he's not BPA, I'm going for fit for them for whatever reason. But the only reason I'm making the exception for them, even though they're terrible and won 17 games, you already have a couple young guards, bro. Colin Sexton's 26, and he's the oldest young guard you have. You still have Collier, and then you have Keontae George, who I think is going to pan out to be great. So I think it is going to kind of cause like a blockade to get another guard in this bitch.
I think I think Colin Sexton not gonna be there at the start of the year.
You still got 2 more young guys in the way though.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know how much you value his spot, but Springer too.
Oh, Jaden Springer. I mean, I feel like Utah needs like some type of flash in the pan right now. And yeah, Isaiah Collier was good. Keontae George kind of had a sophomore slump.
I still believe in him.
I still believe in him too. But I think Trey Johnson, you talk about a guy who's probably the best scorer in the draft. Led the SEC, the hardest conference in college basketball in scoring as a freshman. Giving you 20 points a game, hit 39% from 3, like with a lot of step backs, could score in that mid-range area. He's one of those guys that he's going to be a bucket at the next level. Like just the way he scores, the way he was able to do it at the college level, I think he's going to be a successful player in the NBA. Defensively, can he hold up? That's going to be a question. Playmaking for others. So I think that was like the sneaky thing with him though. Because a lot of people, I remember early, like in the early months, people comparing him to Cam Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, he's not Cam Thomas, bro. Like he's like an underrated playmaker. Cam Thomas isn't even that. And what draft would we ever have Cam Thomas going in the top 10? Like, so I think in that sense, he's a guy who could probably be like a 20-point per game guy, like early in his career.
That's why again, I don't even know if I should spoil this too either, but I had him going a little bit lower, not because he doesn't. He's one of the better talents, and this is exactly why I'm saying this. I wrote specifically in my notes for him on a different team, like he's gonna be in non-Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year talks, both the spot that I had him in. But I'm not gonna lie, he would still also have opportunity on the Jazz. So in the spot that I had him in was dropping all the way down to New Orleans at 7, and my argument was just like, yo, if Trey Murphy's truly going to get moved, you can have this guy come in and be your next like go-to scorer when all these guys are going down. Unfortunately, if everybody gets hit with the injury bug but him. Yeah. But yeah, obviously as a talent, he's one of the better ones. Like I say, he's going to be in non-Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year talks because it's kind of glazed, but it's kind of going to go to him, bro. It's early as fuck. He didn't even get picked up.
Yeah, the only way he's not getting it is if he gets hurt.
He's in the finished top 4 in Rookie of the Year talks. I guess I could say it like that. He's in the finished top 4. I'm very confident in that.
Yeah.
I don't think VJ is going to edge him out. It's just going to be, he might be ahead of Bailey to me, to be honest with you.
He probably would.
So he's going to finish top 3. It's going to go Flag,
and
Harper,
he might go
him.
Earlier on the real draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible, but because I've seen him go as high as 4, bro. I've seen VJ be 5 and him be 4. But he's going to be one of the best scorers of this draft, bro.
Yeah.
A top 3, top 4 scorer of this draft. So it is going to be interesting to see where he falls out. The Wizards need a point guard by the name of Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah, I love this pick.
Who is, do I want to say the undisputed second best point guard of the draft? Maybe, but there is a guy later that I want to comment on. If it does come to my turn, hopefully I do get to pick him because he is one of my favorite prospects later on. But you need a guy to take the ball out of Jordan Poole's hands.
Yeah.
Let Jordan Poole be a scorer. Let Jeremiah Fears come in. Let him be that floor general. And that's why I wrote down, like, I'm not saying that he's going to come and be the savior because you can't save DC. Not trying to be fucked up. But he's going to relieve a lot of the issues that they have. Why did we have, at the time, when Kuzma was there, him and Jordan Poole handling the ball?
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. You need a true, real point guard. Hopefully he follows in the steps of great point guards that they've had before, such as a Gilbert Arenas and a John Wall. I'd be really happy to see that happen. But this is honestly, to me, out of any team so far in the lottery, because I don't even think he's gonna fall that far, anyways. Like to like 8 or 9, so on and so forth. The only spot I could see him fitting better would be Toronto. That's it, or just as good. But I actually think this is his undisputed best spot to be in, and Brooklyn too. I would like him in Brooklyn too, but I think this is the spot for him to go out there and shine.
Yeah, I like this spot for him a lot. I saw a lot of people comparing him to Monte Ellis.
My fucking GOAT, bro.
He's another guy who should be a senior in high school right now. He reclassed up.
Bro.
But for a lot of Wizards fans, I will say, you got to be patient with Fears. The point guard position is like the hardest position to
learn,
to walk into and
Absolutely.
just be successful. And I feel like he is gonna have those growing pains. I feel like every guard does. So I would be patient with him. It's not gonna happen overnight. If it does, that'll be great. But he's one of those guys. When I watch his tape, I'm like, yo, this guy, he's gonna be electric in the league. Especially if he could get that jump shot down consistently.
Mhm.
It's gonna be crazy. The shit that he was able to do in the SEC as a freshman is like super impressive. And then in the tournament, doing what he did. I know they lost the game, but like kind of him willing the team on his back against UConn and like going out swinging, that moved me a lot. Because I remember at one point in the college season, I texted Vic, I'm like, yo, who you like more between Fears and Jace Richardson? And then after that game, I was like, yeah, it's Fears. It's not even close. Like, it's not even fucking close. It was, he moved me a lot, bro. Like in this conference, being a year younger than everybody else and performing the way he did, he was big time. And I hope he could be that guard that Washington desperately needs, because they need that badly.
100%.
7th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans. Here, they're also a weird team to pick for, but for them, I'm gonna take Con Knipple.
That's if he wasn't gonna go to Utah, I would put him here. So we just flipped him basically.
I know people are gonna be like, ooh, but like, I told Vic, but like,
what? He didn't even say
I
words.
didn't even say it, but he's my favorite player in the draft. Like,
fair enough.
woohoo, spoiler, like Duke fan, but he's a guy that like you could put him on any team, he's gonna fit.
Yeah.
He's gonna fit for every single team, and I'm just proud that he got to this point, because I remember going into this college basketball season, like breaking down the whole Duke class and watching all their high school highlights individually, and I was like, this Con Knipple dude is interesting. I wonder like how he's gonna be at the next level, and he did his thing, bro, and he answered a lot of questions. Being, to me, he's the best shooter in this class.
That's not even a question.
Best 3-point shooter in this
Not a
class.
question.
And being able to play alongside Cooper Flag, like, and with all the talent we had on this team this year, was a big thing on him. And then in the ACC tournament, when Cooper Flag went down, him being able to show that he could be the guy and score 28 points against Georgia Tech and be an underrated facilitator. I think Cooper Flag. I think Con Knipple has like.
That's racist.
Yeah, that was racist. I think Con Knipple probably has like one of the higher floors from the top guys. People get on him about the ceiling, but I think he's gonna be he's on my short list of guys that like I don't see him failing in the league at all. Like, he's gonna have a long NBA career.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna have a job for a minute.
Yeah, and the comps that I've been seeing that I really like the most for him is Desmond Bane. I really like those comps for him.
You should see the comps that I saw for him.
Probably some bullshit.
It's all white guys,
Yeah.
bro. Gordon Hayward was at the biggest one.
They don't even fucking
Say
play
that
the
'cause he's
same,
white, bro.
Yeah.
The only white player that I've seen recently get compared to a black player has been Luka to Harden.
Yeah.
Every other one, it's always white guy to white guy.
I mean, the Cooper Flag, Andre Karolinko ones aren't bad, though.
That one's not bad, but it's also
That one's not bad.
come on, man, come on.
But when people was comparing him to Gordon,
AK-47 couldn't shoot like him though.
nah, yeah.
He's kind of his own thing. Kevin Durant who got compared to Dirk, so that's the inverse.
8th pick, Brooklyn Nets.
BK. Now, well, it's not gonna be spoiler because I'm not gonna say the other names, but I had 3 ideas here. Need a point, and to me, it's time to move off of Claxton. So you're gonna need a big. It's time to sell on Claxton, right? And I thought to myself, I said, you know what? Let's prioritize big. So we cut out one guy. We have 2 options here. I don't think any of them you could go wrong, right? Depends what you want. Do you want the scoring or do you want the lob threat and the defense? I settle for the scoring. I don't think one's better than the other, by the way. And we obviously know who I'm talking about if you're paying attention. I went with Derek Queen here.
I'm not mad at it at all.
And you can still go with I mean, I'm not even gonna say their names because you're gonna say them soon enough anyways. We're in that space where they're gonna get mentioned by far in this video. But time to move on from Claxton. And I even wrote right here, it sounds ironic, but with the youth movement they got going on, Claxton is considered old. He just turned 26. 26, you're entering your prime. You enter your prime at 26, 27. Sell high on him, bro. Just sell on him. Really buy into like everybody's got to be young as fuck. Everybody's gonna be in that same core, and bring this kid in. You're also gonna be swapping out a guy who was known for a lob threat and defense. You could 1-for-1 replace that with the other guy, but why not switch it up and go for some offense? Now here's the catch-22 though, because I said they need a point guard and a center. I'm a little concerned about who's going to be getting Derek Queen the ball.
Yeah.
That's one of my main concerns. I'm not going to lie. I think year one's going to be rough unless they get a point guard with one of their other first-round picks or in free agency. I think year one's going to be rough, but I think he's going to have a perfectly fine career, bro. Bro can score. We saw this shot in March Madness as well. He can still rebound as well. Defense,
That's going to be the struggle.
it's going to get there. I believe him. He has the tools. It's not there right now. It's going to get there. But you're going to be getting that scoring and playmaking from it as a big. And, you know, why not try something new? I've had Claxton for a couple years. Before that, you had Jarrett Allen. Let's switch it up when it comes to the bigs.
Yeah. He got a unique skill set because he's a guy that, like, the point guard shit, I think it is important, but I don't think he will be affected by it as much as a guy like Malowach.
I kind of got to disagree with you. I think no matter how offensively talented you are as a center, even with a Jokic, because he doesn't bring the ball up every time, you still need a guy as talented as Jamal Murray to get him the ball.
Nah, yeah, you definitely do. But I don't think for him it's not gonna be as crazy. Obviously, they're gonna need to make it happen,
They need something.
like ASAP. But I don't think it's gonna be to a point where it's like, damn, got no point guard. Well, Derek Queen about to go ghost for the whole game.
I don't think ghost. I'm just thinking that year one's going to be a little bit more rough than every other year afterwards.
Yeah.
If they don't make the proper moves.
Yeah.
Someone had, like, Cat, no matter how talented he is, someone has to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Wemby, no matter how talented he is, we saw it, the difference with CP3
Yeah.
compared to the year before when no one wanted to give him the fucking ball, point Sohan, right? Where they kept missing him when he was wide open. Sabonis, and obviously, like I said already before, like Jokic, AD, you need to have someone talented enough to get them the ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how great you are offensively, and it's going to be a concern, and I hope they take a point guard later
I do like this pick for them.
for
though.
his sake.
I do like this pick for them. And they probably could get somebody that falls because they have 4 picks in the first round. They got 8, 19, 26, and 27. Yeah. So I think
They have 4.
they got
They
4.
had 3.
No, they got 4.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, so they could definitely get somebody, especially if somebody falls, if they could probably take a chance on somebody later on. But I do like this spot for Derek Queen. 9th overall pick, Toronto Raptors. This is a no-brainer for me.
No brainer. I wrote down you could go one of 2 ways, just like you could with Brooklyn. I want to hear this song.
You could, but like, since he's here and it's Toronto and they need a center, I'm gonna take Kamal Malowach.
I had him here too as well, but I also wrote down like you could go point guard or center here.
If
Which one do you
Kaman
wanna
wasn't
sell off?
here, Kasparas would have been the other guy I would have thought about. But I think Kaman makes a lot of sense for the Raptors here because Jakob Poeltl, you don't know, like he's been thrown around in trade talks and shit like that. And you have somebody that if you want to go the young route or whatever, because I don't know what direction Toronto's trying to go, but I feel like Kaman will fit what they're trying to do.
Ready for my pick?
10 with Houston, yeah.
My favorite prospect in the draft. And I feel like this is just me being lazy because I always love point guards the most. And I wrote here, this fits if the Rockets keep the pick or if they trade it for Durant. This is my favorite fucking dude in the draft, Kasparas. I think this is the right spot for him to go, again, whether it's Houston or Phoenix.
In Phoenix, it would be so tough.
Even better. They both have floor general concerns. Respect to Fred. Time to move on from him. You did your thing. You are a stopgap. Let's kind of get rid of you. The best playmaker in the draft.
Yep.
3 ball, little bit concerning. I think he'll get there though, but we're talking about a guy who could score. He can play make as well. He has that European style where he knows. This isn't even me making the joke this time. This one's me being for real. Since he's played in Europe, he knows how to like play the right way and the fundamentally right way. You need that floor general, and with him being the best playmaker in the draft, one of these two teams need him badly.
Yeah.
Like really fucking bad. Like if I'm Phoenix and he's available, I'm grabbing him ASAP. Off rip. You need to pray that he's there if you want to be honest with you.
To his defense for the 3-point shot,
I think it's going to come later anyways.
a lot of it, he loves that step back 3.
Yeah.
So I think that's why his percentages was down. And he had the volume too. Like he was taking like 5, 6 threes a game. But he's an 85% free throw shooter. So I think he's gonna come around on that. And I also wrote it down here. He's really good in the pick and roll, like, really really good for his age, and plays off 2 feet well. I think his skill set is kind of advanced, and some people kind of overthink it with him. I'm like, he may not be like no fucking perennial all-star, but I do feel like he'll be a good player in the NBA. And it'll probably be a little bit easier in the NBA compared to college.
I don't want to jinx it either.
I don't want to jinx it, but
No, but I was gonna say, sorry to cut you off since you said it earlier too. I don't want to jinx it, but even though we said it is concerning and point guards need a little bit more time than everyone else when it comes to getting drafted, don't want to jinx it. I think he's gonna be okay.
yeah, I think he'll be okay.
I think he's gonna be perfectly fine. These next couple ones, bro, I don't like the spots, to be honest with you.
don't.
They're all ugly spots.
11th pick. 11th pick.
Portland, which can literally do
Trailblazers.
anything.
I hate this spot, yo.
Me too.
I'm going to take. This might be like early as fuck for him, but I just like it because he's a guy that could fit on a lot of teams. I'm gonna take Carter Bryant.
Oh, I thought he was
From
about to say-
Arizona.
I thought he was about to say CMB.
One of the better defenders in this draft. Always in passing lanes. Shot 37% from 3. He's a guy that you could plug him in onto every team. He's not gonna take away from anybody, and you're not gonna ask him to start right away. He could literally come off the bench, give you a solid 15 minutes of point of attack defense, space the floor. And he's young too. So
I have to take him off my shit because he was a little bit later for me.
he's
I gotta
young
make some
too,
moves.
so maybe there's some upside later on, but you're not banking on like all-star level upside. You just want him to be a contributor. And the only concern with him is like at Arizona, he was playing like less than 25 minutes a game. So how impactful can he be with more opportunity and stuff like that? But I think he's a guy that he'll succeed no matter what, like in any role. So I think that would be a good spot for him there.
I hate drafting for Chicago.
Yeah.
So I have 2 names here. I guess I could say both. I have Noah. I don't know how to say his last name.
Senge.
Yeah, just because raw talent, and I'm not gonna lie. Do you want to stick with Patrick Williams? And I'm gonna spoil it right here too. By the way, this is where I had Carter Bryant, so now I kind of have to make some moves. Or CMB.
I love CMB. I would feel so bad for CMB if he got picked here though.
The Bulls fuck up everything, bro. But
They
the thing
fuck
is too,
everything
Noah would interfere with if you care that much about Patrick Williams, and then you care about Modest. It's gonna get in the way of them.
Yeah.
CMB, yo, this, and I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna give it to Noah. We're gonna put Noah
Noah
here.
Senge.
I had Noah going all the way down to 14. We're just gonna move him up here. I'm gonna have Noah go here. I'm not gonna put CMB in this bitch.
Yeah.
Again, the only thing that you're really banking on for him when you're watching these draft reports on him, when you're reading these articles, it's all the same shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like just raw young talent.
Raw young talent.
And that's all you could
Offense
kind of go
gotta catch
for.
up.
You might as well just take a swing and for the Bulls, but I don't want to cut a promo, but how long do we have to do this with the Bulls?
Do what?
Just take a swing and hope that shit pans out.
I don't know.
Even with Pat Will, for example, how many times are we going to take a swing and hope it pans out?
I don't know. Feels like, I don't know. It feels like every year they're picking like 7, 9, 10, 12.
There's the lowest they've gone in a minute, to
And
be honest with
then
you.
Pat Will was 4.
He was 4. The one chance that they had a high pick, you wasted it.
Wasted that shit. Like I remember his name like rising, but
I want to call Nick and ask about him.
watching that draft when he got picked, I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
I wish Carter Bryant could go here.
Yeah. 13th pick, Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, this is a weird spot too. I don't even know what they really need though, to be honest. This is like a tough. This is another tough spot too. Cause it's like I would like to add more wings to this team, but it feels like they have a good amount.
They have this is what I kind of did about them, right? They have wings galore,
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, do you want to give up on on Onyeka? Because your backcourt is fine. Your backcourt is settled. Do you stack more wings, or do you give up on, Onyeka and bring in a big?
My thing is, I wouldn't give up on Onyeka. I feel like Clint Capella will be gone
Justin, but how many times have we said this since the pod started?
a lot.
Since the inception of the pod, we've been saying like, oh, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. We've been doing the pod, bro, since the 23 playoffs, correct? The 23 playoffs.
Yeah.
23-24 season. 24-25. We're about to go into 25-26. And we're still talking about give Onyeka a chance and he could show like his full potential. At what point is it just either he's not gonna get the full chance, or when he gets that full chance, he just is who he is?
All right, fuck it. I know where I'm gonna go. This might be kind of early for him, but I took him in the other mock draft. I'm gonna take Thomas Sorber for the Hawks.
I didn't even have him lottery, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna take him just because I don't think Clint Capella's gonna be on this team, and if you do keep Onyeka, he could be your backup because I don't know who their backup would be once Clint Capella's gone.
What's his name? He plays more of the four. What's his name?
Larry Nance.
African sounding. Let me look at the roster.
Let me know.
I got you. Continue though.
Because Thomas Sorber, very strong rim protector. I wrote down this stat. Team shot 39% in the paint on twos when he was on the floor.
Mohamed Gay.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that could kind of be the backup.
He'll be a capable play finisher. He's a good interior scorer. Like, he's not going to be posting up in the league, but like if you literally wanted him to go get a bucket, like he could do that. And he's pretty good off the dribble handoffs, like off the pass. So if you wanted to have him there, I'm not saying like as a hub, but somebody that could be there where he could make decisions, set the good screen, and make the right pass from that little high post spot. He could do that with Trae Young and Dyson Daniels. He'll be good for that. Only bad thing about him is he's not explosive as an athlete. He got injured back in February, and that's why his stock went down. Because before the injury, he was actually like in the late lottery talks, or like in the top 10. Well, not top 10, but like 11 through 14 talks. And the injury kind of put him back. But if it wasn't him, I thought about Colin Murray Boyles too. But I'm like, they do need some backup at that center spot. Because like you said, their guards are solidified. They have wings galore. I don't think Clint Capella's going to be here. So they need a backup option at big.
The last pick. And this is for obviously San Antonio. I feel bad, so this means CMB is going to miss it. And I really didn't want him to miss it.
CMB and OKC would be so fire.
I guess he's just going to go to 15. But at 14, I'm going to just make the joke anyways. We have Cedric, anything but a coward. Some serious shit, though. It's time to move on from Keldon. And if anything, the only thing is if you do a KD trade, this kind of sucks for him as well. Or maybe you facilitate that into a KD trade as well, but you're bringing in a wing scorer, a guy who could provide more spacing for you, and obviously at a cheaper rate, you just move Keldon Johnson. That'll be a one-of-one swap and just ship his ass out. I think it's the perfect fit for them in terms of timeline. You're getting somebody that's younger. Keldon Johnson's not old. There's another case of kind of like the Claxton shit, but a little bit less extreme. He's just a little bit more older than his peers.
Yeah.
So move him onto a timeline that's going to fit him better. And for a timeline that fits you better, bring in this guy who can provide the spacing, who can shoot, who can score. And he's so much fucking younger than everybody else. Yeah. So I think this would kind of be a pretty good spot for him. I am mad at myself, though, that now CMB is not going to go into the lottery, which he kind of does deserve.
He do. But I would love CMB in OKC. That shit would be so crazy.
I didn't have who was that you picked at 11?
Who did I pick at 11? Carter Bryant.
No, sorry. Fuck.
Thomas Sorber.
I don't have Sorber in my lottery.
I do like Cedric Howard at 14. The only other guy I would have thought about at 14 was probably Rasheer Fleming.
Didn't have him.
He's the only other guy I probably would have thought about. But Cedric Howard is like the mystery man of the draft. And this motherfucker
like he's the Riddler.
This motherfucker really used Duke for clout.
Yeah. I fuck with that.
I was so hyped for him to pull up. But
that's actually gangster. He went from I'm gonna go to Duke. I'm
went
gonna
from-
go pro.
He went from D3 to Eastern Michigan to Washington
Washington.
State, was about to go to Duke, and was like, nah, fuck y'all.
He just slapped his piece on y'all's tongue, bro.
I hope it works out well though. This motherfucker, he has 7'2" wingspan. Like he has all the intangibles. I hope everything works out because I was listening to I forgot what podcast it was. It was like after Cooper Flag, Cedric Howard might be the best player in the draft. I was like, what the fuck?
I thought he was gonna say wing, but even then I was like, niggas bugging.
I was like, I don't know about that, but a lot of people are super high on Cedric Howard, and I'm excited to see because he
I'm
only
sorry, bro. It's like the mystery man.
he really
I
is
just
the
see him
mystery
in the
man.
Riddler hat.
Nah, he really is the mystery man. Only played 6 games at Washington State, but his tape was impressive, and I think with the Spurs that'll be a good fit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like with his intangibles, I think he'll work out well in the NBA. It's just building up on top of his skill set already, and the concerns are gonna be like the competition level. Was it legit? Like, how is he gonna fare
Come
against
on,
this?
bro.
But I don't really care about that. I think with the intangibles he has and like his fucking size and all that, I think he'll be fine.
So that's our lottery.
I'll read it off for the listeners.
Oh, you wrote it down. Oh,
Yeah.
you're a goat for that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So number 1, Cooper Flag, obviously, to the Dallas Mavericks. Number 2, Dylan Harper to the San Antonio Spurs.
What is that?
Fanspo.
Pictures and shit. That's fire.
Number 3, we got Ace Bailey to Philadelphia 76ers. 4th overall, we got VJ Edgecombe to the Charlotte Hornets. 5th, we got Trey Johnson to the Jazz. 6th, we got Jeremiah Fears to the Wizards. 7, we got Concanipple to the Pelicans. 8, we got Derek Queen to the Nets. 9, we got Kamal Malawach to the Raptors. 10, we got Kasparis Yakuchonis to the Rockets. 11, we got Carter Bryant to the Blazers. 12, we got Noah Senge to the Chicago Bulls. 13, we got Thomas Sorber to the Hawks. And 14, we got Cedric Howard to the Spurs.
The mystery man, bro. That's just still frying me right now. Yo, I hope Malawach or Derek Quinn really does go to the Nets. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's a good spot for them as long as they move away from Claxton, which I'm not gonna lie, it's time, bro. Send him to the Lakers. Nah, I'm being funny. I'm not gonna default to Lakers. Send him somewhere.
It might be Ace,
Yeah, okay.
the way shit is going.
Justin, MVP of the week. J-Dub, this could have been you.
This could have been him.
I had to take it away from him, bro.
TJ McConnell?
Yeah, literally. No, I'm not even being funny. Yeah. 18, 4 and 4 with 2 steals, and then 12, 9 and 6 with 4 steals. TJ McConnell, undisputed MVP of the week, bro.
Yeah.
J-Dub, I'm still very pissed off that you couldn't close out this game 6. And you would have been the hero, bro.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have won finals MVP, but he would have gotten closer.
Close.
Now it's over. It's SJ or bust if they win.
Yeah.
When they win. When they win. I'm gonna say that when they win tomorrow.
Shout out to Josh.
Fuck, man, I want to do it first. I didn't even get to say any shout outs. I told him happy birthday at 12:01, bro, when I was with him looking for his wallet.
I gotta text him. Oh yeah, shout out to Josh. Happy birthday to him.
Big happy birthday to Josh.
He was supposed to be on that side of the couch back in 2022.
We're gonna talk about it though when he's here. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
When he's here, we're gonna talk about it. I think we should get him here during free agency when it's like really
It
popping.
was supposed to be the Triple J podcast.
Yeah, no Jaren Jackson Jr. Fuck him.
Yeah.
There's still a possibility we can add another letter. It's never too late.
Yeah.
But it just depends on how it even work out though and how it would fall together.
Yeah.
But we are gonna get the Josh episode. We've been wanting that for a minute. Josh is the homie. None but love for Josh. I mean, I'm about to see him again a little bit later.
At the Drewski shit.
Yeah, bro, be getting super fucked up all the time. Sometimes I be looking at myself, I'm like, damn, bro, he more out of control than me. That's what be feeling like sometimes. Well, that's my dog, though. So, big shout out to Josh, bro. Enjoy the big 26. Who's a notable athlete to wear 26? Do you know when people are like, this is my
Saquon
whatever,
Barkley.
whatever year? Anybody else?
He's probably the most Spencer Dinwiddie.
Athletes that wear 26. Because when I turned 25, I said it was my Barry Bonds year.
It's his Saquon Barkley year.
The best athletes who wore 26. Saquon Barkley pulled up. Hey, AP.
Adrian Peterson.
Josh, happy AP year. Happy, I don't know who that is. Andrew McCutcheon year. Happy Wade Boggs year. Le'Veon Bell. Daryl Strawberry. We're not doing. What's his name though?
Spencer Dinwiddie.
We're not doing Saquon.
Oh.
Chase Utley.
Oh no, Spencer Dinwiddie wears 28, right? I think.
Kyle Korver.
I forgot.
Who else?
Happy Kyle Korver, yeah.
Curtis Granderson. Shout out to him.
Damn.
Chris Carpenter. And we got some hitters at 26. It's kind of like a random number too. 27 though is going to be the most exciting one.
The Jamal Murray year.
Bro, it's a Jamal Murray. Bro, I would think of
Mike Trout.
I would think of Chris Smoove before Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
All the best baseball players were 27 for whatever reason. People say it's because 27 outs in the game. So yeah, that's the Mike Trout. That's the Stanton year. Who else was 27? A couple guys. But 25, that's the Barry Bonds year. You about to be on your Barry Bonds shit and retire that Griffey. Well, you could say Kobe. I said Griffey when I turned 24. Big Griffey love out here. But shout out to my boy Josh and his AP year. Justin, any other shout outs?
Nah, that's it.
I want to shout out Rafi Devers for shitting on Boston. And I'm glad I could finally appreciate you for the first time in my lifetime. You did go 0 for 5 last night. That was kind of embarrassing against the Red Sox. But I'm happy that now I could give you some of your respect and actually vote for you in the All-Star game. So congratulations to you, bro, for getting out of that hellhole, bro. Boston is a piece of shit city. Justin, can you please walk us out of here? I'm about to go on Batty Hub when I get home.
If you guys are listening on audio, please give us 5 stars. Please like. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, please comment, please subscribe. Follow us on TikTok at the J&J Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the JJ Podcast 1. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Shout out Vontae and Tori Youngin. Peace.
Wow.